Hey, 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 Facebook. What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Hey, y'all. Let me share. Let me share. Mm. Come on in, you guys. All right. Whew. Y'all, honey, moving, moving, right? Mm-hmm. It's something else. Come on in, you guys. I know y'all been missing me. Hey, I've been missing y'all too. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. And we're gonna get started. Hey, Alita. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, beautiful? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got to catch up. Got to catch up. Who else is here? Let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. Who's here and where are you tuning in from? This light is a little off, and I know why, because I've got a light behind my green screen and it's kind of throwing it off. So y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Y'all got to get my setup back. Got to get my setup back, right? Because I'm in transition. I know you are, girl. I know you are. Well, listen, you guys. Doris, hey, beautiful. Good to see you. You guys, make sure you share this broadcast. Make sure you share this broadcast. I'm getting ready to go ahead and get started and share with you what the Lord is speaking to me right now. And it definitely deals with shift, right? So some of you may know, some of you may not know. I literally ended up moving like in a week. Like it was like one day, I talked to my landlord and he was like, I don't think I'm going to renew your lease because y'all really, I got a super deal. He was ready to raise the rent, right? And he was like, if you want to move early, you can. And I was like, let me think about this. Let me go ahead and do this, right? So within a week, I had to move out of my place, right? So of course, did not have time to find a place, but I just moved out of my other place. So I've been in transition, and the transition was really challenging, right? Now I could have come up with all the reasons why I couldn't do it, right? Like, and they were real, right? I just started new classes. I'm driving to Sarasota. Like my schedule is really packed. And I could have just said, well, no, I'm just going to wait. But I said, I need to save this money. I need to get positioned, and I need to be able to find a place for the beginning of the month so that I'm not stressed out. Bam. But what happened? I had to deal with it anyway. I had to deal with the stress of the right then move, right? Now, listen, why am I telling you this? Some of you have been called to shift and you won't shift because it's an inconvenience. You won't shift because it is not comfortable. You won't shift because you're scared. It's fear, right? Well, listen, in the midst of me doing everything, in the midst of everything that was going on in my life, y'all, let me tell y'all something. God did some incredible things. So as I was preparing for the move, right? As I was preparing for the move, because I think I talked to him like on a Friday. I made my final decision maybe on a Friday, that I was going to go ahead. I was going to move early and when I was going to move, right? And I didn't give myself a lot of time. Because I had a goal. I was like, listen, I got to be out by this time. This is when I got to be out. And that was last weekend, right? Last Saturday was supposed to be my last day. Like I had to get it done. And lots of things happened that made me say, oh, I should just wait. No, I'm not doing that. I'm getting out. I'm getting out. Let's go. Let's figure it out. Let's make it happen. And we pulled together and we made it happen. In the meantime, check this out. In the meantime, I lost 5 pounds over 3 days in the meantime. I was not working out. I was not eating healthy. I was eating. I don't want y'all to think that I wasn't eating, because I definitely was. But, I introduced something new into my system, into my regimen, leading up to the move. Okay. I had to pause till I got settled to get back on it. But, listen, I'm settled and I'm back on it. So all of this stuff is happening. But then y'all listen. After I made the decision on a Friday, I actually ended up speaking on a Saturday. Now, everything was very compressed and compacted because I didn't know how I was going to pull it off. I just started these new classes. My class ran from, it was supposed to be from 10 to 1. I spoke, the event was from 11:30 to 3 or something like that. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I said, okay, God, okay, we got to work this out. I missed my Wednesday class because there was a mix up with the storm that was coming. So it was a storm coming. Remember, I told you guys about the gale force winds. Well, the gale force winds, they kind of came through. They were not super strong, okay, but they came through with the tropical storm that came in. Lots going on. So I speak that Saturday, and it is a transformative moment. You know how you have those moments in your life where when you look back on it, you're like, wow, that was a defining moment in my life. That Saturday was a defining moment in my life. And it was God's, I'm going to say it was God's confirmation of my shift, that I was shifting. And in the midst of it, I found myself not really realizing or recognizing all that was going on until I went back and looked at it. When I went back and looked at it, stuff made sense. I had to shift anyway. Good morning, Stacy. Oh, I should have put y'all on my other one. I wasn't thinking. I had to shift anyway. I had to shift anyway because, listen, in order for you to get what God has for you, you've got to make some shifts. Last night in our self-healing class, which was absolutely amazing. Oh my God, the revelations that came in that class as we talked about really evaluating human behavior, like, was incredible to be able to identify people's emotional tone and how they're likely to respond in certain situations. It was amazing. It was everything. But in that class, even that was a shift. Like we had to make some shifts to start the class. All of these shifts are happening. And in the midst of the shifting, life is still going on. Yes, Stacy, amazing and right on time. So God had been saying that the month of July was a month that was going to be accelerated, that he was, there were going to be gale force winds that blow us into, destiny, that they were going to move us super fast, right? So we had to get some things in order. We had to make some things happen in order to do it. Now I get it. God, I had to get some things in order so that I could move like that. Listen, only God can do that. Only God can orchestrate that. And some of you are missing what God is doing because you're so busy trying to be in control of the process. You're so busy trying to dictate it. You're so busy trying to determine when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. And God said, I didn't tell you to do that. I just told you to show up. All you got to do is show up and do what I tell you. But you're trying to map everything out according to your knowledge and your understanding. No, you can't do that. Listen to me, y'all. What God is getting ready to do is going to be so supernatural that you are going to be blown away. Other people are going to be blown away, but you're going to be blown away. So as we're going through this transition, as we're going through these shifts, you need to understand that God desires to do more for you than he did the last season. If you thought he did something the last season, you wait till you see what he does this season. If you thought what he did in your last situation, you wait till you see what he does in this situation. If you thought your last relationship was good, wait till you see what he does in this relationship. If you thought your last place of residence was amazing, and mine was, wait till I see and you see what he does in this next residence. God is trying to move you. God is trying to move you. He's trying to shift you, but it requires a level of trust that we don't often operate in. We don't. But we got to start. We got to start, and we got to start somewhere. And we got to start at some point. Why not now? Shift anyway. I don't know how it's going to work out. Shift anyway. I don't know where I'm going. Go anyway. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Say it anyway. Just open your mouth. Say, okay, God, here's my mouth. Speak what you're going to speak. When you allow God to do what it is that he desires to do in your life, then you're going to discover that his shifts, when you shift anyway, even though you don't understand, even though you don't get it, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it's not logical, even though you can't figure it out, even though you're like, oh my God, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Listen, I want to read something to you. Let me read something to you. Amen. I'm glad it's resonating with you, Ali. I want to read something to you. I need y'all to get this. See, we miss out on so much. Today, in the 21-day fast, is day 14. It's day 14, and the focus is on experiencing peace, right? Peace. Today is peace. The scripture is Philippians 4:6-7. I don't make this stuff up. I don't make it up. I couldn't, right? And it reads, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Listen, worry and prayer cannot occupy the same space. There's a saying that if you're going to worry, don't pray. And if you're going to pray, don't worry. I believe that saying is very true because worry is the opposite of faith. True faith does not allow room for worry. Therefore, when we worry, our faith is wavering. Can you be a good Christian and have wavering faith? Absolutely, you definitely can. But why would you want that wavering faith? Paul told the church at Philippi not to worry about anything and to replace what would have been worry with faith. He told them to tell God what they need and then thank him for everything that he has already done, because it's already done. See, while I'm trying to figure out where I'm moving, God's already identified the house, the person who owns the house, what the price is going to be. Everything is already worked out for God. God's already worked it out. I have to step into it. I have to just follow him and trust him. It's already done. And they will have peace. I want you to notice that he gave them a formula for peace. And this is the peace formula: prayer, petition, thanksgiving, peace. Prayer, petition, thanksgiving, peace. When you pray, you ask God for what you want and what you need, and then you give thanks. Then that leads to peace. So rest in it. Today's affirmation is, I refuse to worry because my faith cancels any worry. I have the power and authority to create peace in my life because prayer plus petition plus thanksgiving produces peace. So when you shift anyway, shift in peace. When you shift anyway, shift knowing that God's already worked it out. When you shift anyway, shift knowing that he's going to take care of your needs. Shift anyway, knowing that all you got to do is be thankful for what God has already done, because it is already done. God, I thank you right now for my new house. I thank you for my new house. I thank you for my new car. I thank you for the space that you have created specifically for me and my family. God, I thank you in advance for the students that you've sent to the way, both local and throughout the country and the world. I thank you, God, for the provision that you've made for us. I thank you that you've already done it, that you've already worked it out, that as I shift anyway, as I shift anyhow, as I do it anyway, even though I don't see, understand, know everything, even as I do that, God, that you've already provided me with a solution. That solution is waiting for me. So God, right now, I thank you for the shift that's taking me to where you've already prepared for me. See, this is what I love. I love in the scripture when it says that God will take you to a prepared place. He's looking for a prepared people for a prepared place. He's looking for a prepared people for a prepared place, a place he's already prepared. What did he say to Abraham? Go to a place that I will show you. Okay, God. Go to a place that I will show you. I'm going to show you the place. I need you to just pack everything up, get your family, get everybody together, and then I'm going to show you where you're going. He didn't say, find the place where you're going first. So funny. I was talking to somebody and they were like, well, that sounds backwards that, you moved out and now you're looking for a place. Well, it only sounds backwards when you're just doing it on your own, right? Because God said that I will take you to a place that I will show you. So when he opens a window, you got to shift anyway. When he opens a window, you got to move then. When he opens a window, there's a reason he opened that window. And it oftentimes is to lead to something much larger than you could have imagined. I don't know what you guys are needing to shift from to. I don't know where that shift is in your life. But what I am telling you is that the shift is absolutely unequivocally necessary. It's necessary. And you make it harder and you make it take longer, but that's just you. You're doing that. That's not God doing that. You're doing that. You're making it more difficult. You're making it more challenging. You're doing that. Now, how do I know this? Because listen, y'all, listen. If God tell you to move, and y'all, it's not like I didn't have stuff. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff. But if I moved in a week, and really it was a few days, if I could do that, what is your excuse, right? Because that's what it is. We find excuses, excuses to slow down, excuses. Listen, God's got it and he's got you. So you got to do what you got to do. Hey, friend, I'm calling you today because we've got to catch up and I finally have some time. I'm going to take you on my walk with me. Yes, prepare for the prepared place. Come on, somebody. Now, listen, let me help you. This is going to bless you. If God has told you to do it, he's not going to let you fail. If God has told you to do it, he is not going to let you fail. Listen, it may be uncomfortable. You may not understand it. It may not work the way you want it to work. You may not be in control of it, but he will not let you fail. He's simply waiting on you. He's waiting on you to show your trust for him. It's easy to say that we trust God, but our actions tell whether or not we actually trust him. You know what God knows about me? He knows I trust him. He knows that I'm going to do it. He knows that even when it looks crazy, I'm going to do it. He knows that I'm going to be obedient for the most part. I ain't going to say that I'm totally obedient at all times. I'm not going to tell that lie because that would be a lie. Okay. But for the most part, I'm pretty obedient. Okay. Now, yesterday I had to, because y'all, I promise there's so much going on. I needed a base for a phone charger. I had to get my dad a phone. I'm sending him his phone, but they don't come with the base anymore. They just come with the cord, right? So I had to get him a base and I was getting ready to mail it off. And so I was in a place that I normally wouldn't be, but God kind of routed me that way. And when I was over there, I said, oh, well, I can stop at the beauty supply store. They should have a base. And so I stopped at the beauty supply store and I go in and I ask them and they do. And I purchase it. I said, well, can I plug the phone up? Can I get my phone and plug it up so I can make sure it works? They said, sure. So I go outside, I get my phone and cord and I bring it in. They plug it up. It works. I'm walking towards the door and God says, stop, go back. Wait, stop, go back. So I turn around and I go back and I said, okay, God, because there are two women that are standing there and I don't know. Okay, if he's sending me back, it's something that he wants me to say to somebody. I just got to listen and see which one it was. So he let me know which one it was. And I told her what God said and tears welled up in her eyes. And I finished, I turned around, I walked out. And God began to speak to me. He said, listen, the same way that I cared enough about her to reroute you, send you to a place you normally don't go, to a post office you normally don't use, to go back after you had finished your business. It's the same way that I care about you. Don't think that I don't see you. Don't think that I don't honor the sacrifices that you make. Don't think that. In fact, I need you to get ready for what I'm doing. So yesterday morning, I got a message from one of my brothers in ministry, and he asked me if I could preach this Sunday. I was like, sure, brother, no problem. And as I was making my transition to the post office, I had to just say, thank you, God. Because from the Saturday that I spoke at the event to now speaking this Sunday at my brother's church, God is showing me, I'm sending you to the people that you say that you're called to. And I'm sending you with a blessing. You see, when you just allow God to shift you however he wants to shift you, you'll be surprised at what happens. You'll be surprised at how God shows up and how he manifests his promises in your life. It doesn't always look good. It doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always make sense, but it's always necessary. And it's necessary because there's something that God is doing. So I said, okay, God, if we're shifting, let's shift. Okay, let's shift. So I have to shift my mindset. I have to get myself together. So today he said, I want you to go work out. Now my knee's been acting up. I've been having to put a brace on my knee, but he said, I want you to go work out and I want you to go to the gym. Now y'all listen, I've not been back to the gym since the pandemic hit. I ain't been to the gym. I ain't been to the gym. He said, go to the gym. If God tells me to go to the gym, there's a reason he's sending me to the gym. There's somebody that I'm supposed to see. There's something that I'm supposed to say. There's somebody that's supposed to see me. Like there's something that's getting ready to happen when I go to the gym. Okay? See, this is why we've got to listen to God and move on his word. You ain't got to know everything. You ain't got to feel, you know what I knew? Put my workout stuff on. I said, okay, let me put my little new workout outfit on and get my little tennis shoes out and I'm going to go to this gym and do what it is that you told me to do. Okay, I don't know, but I know something's going to happen. Have a spirit of anticipation because that's how God moves when he shifts you. Shifts what you do, shifts how you do it. There's always a reason for the shift. There's always a reason for the shift. And it is up to you to just be obedient until God reveals the reason. It's up to you to just be obedient until God reveals the reason, right? You ain't got to know why. I ain't got to know why. I ain't got to know who's there. I ain't got to know what's getting ready to happen. All I've got to do is do what he's told me to do. So some of you won't shift because you're too busy trying to control everything that happens in your life. And if you're busy controlling everything that happens in your life, then you are not giving God the leeway to do what it is that he desires to do. Which is bless you. Come on, y'all. Y'all, this is so good. I'm sorry, y'all. This is so good. I'm ready to release some more pounds, honey. Listen, these pounds got to go. So today, God says shift anyway. It don't matter. I don't care what your excuse is, what your explanation is for why you can't shift. Shift anyway. Shift. And know this, that this shift, this change, this transformation is going to require another version of you. It's going to require another version of you, a version that you've not walked fully into yet. So you've got to be open to becoming the you that you need to be for this shift. You know, I can remember prophesying to people and telling them what I saw. But you know what? They didn't want to shift. And if you don't want to shift, you'll never get to what it is that God has for you. You know, when God gives you international, but you are content with local and you're not willing to open yourself up to international, you'll always be local. Like, that's just what it is. But when you know God has called you to international, and some of you are called to international, then you've got to be open to how God gets you there. So you can't dictate how he gets you there. You just have to know that you'll get there as long as you do what he says, as long as you keep following his plan and his program, not yours, not your 3-year plan, not your 5-year plan, not your 10-year plan, but God's. And I'm not saying don't plan. So I don't want you guys to misconstrue what I'm saying. Okay. Because I know for planners, that's very uncomfortable. I'm not saying don't plan, but I'm saying this: let God guide your planning, and then give him leeway to move things around and shift things when necessary. Just know that all of it is working together for your good. All of it, every single bit is working together for your good. But you have to listen and move. So if you guys want an individual word, put a 1 in the comments, and I'm going to give y'all some individual words. Just know it's probably going to have something to do with shifting. Just know that. Okay. And I don't know what, but it'll have something probably to do with that, because that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. We'll see. That's so funny. Stacy and Alita. All right. I'm going to do Stacy, then I'm going to do you, Alita. Stacy. Shift anyway, girl. Stop playing. God says stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Do it. Make it happen. Figure it out. Trust God with it and go. Go. Ready, set, go. It's time to go. Let's make it happen. Alita. Alita. Listen. Same thing. Same thing. Y'all are taking the same journey to different destinations, but y'all are taking the same journey. And I want y'all to connect, Stacy and Alita. I want y'all to connect, because I believe that you all will encourage one another. So make sure that y'all connect, because y'all are going to encourage one another as you're shifting. That's going to be important. That's going to be important. For Artie, listen, I said this before. There is such a superstar in you. And I see you making a significant amount of money before you ever graduate from high school. You are a true entrepreneur. You are a game changer. Artie, you are going to really impact the lives of people on a massive scale. And what I love about it is that you get to do this early. Y'all listen. Can you imagine what your life would have been like if you had people to help you birth your destiny early in your life? I'm not talking about waiting until you graduated from school and graduated from college and got a career, but I'm talking about really could help you birth purpose early in your life. And Artie, that's the thing that's unique about you, is that you have the opportunity to do that. And you have a mother who's going to support you in that and facilitate that. Ayo, baby, the book. I just see a book. I see a book. I see you speaking. I see you traveling. I see you really having great success and impacting a lot of lives, and it's going to be so interesting, because I even see you guys doing some events together to encourage teens, right, through challenging times. And I see a book that y'all are going to do together, Ayo and Artie. I see a book that y'all are going to do together. Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany, God has told you to shift in a relationship that's significant to you, and you have been very hesitant to do so. What I'm going to tell you is your failure to shift, if you don't shift, is going to result in trauma. It's going to result in trauma. It's going to be traumatic. And God is trying to shift you so it doesn't become traumatic. Right now, you can shift and survive. Now, I'm not saying that after the traumatic, you wouldn't be able to survive, but you're going to have to overcome trauma after that. Right now, it's just recovering from letting someone go. But if you wait, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be it's going to be trauma. It's going to be trauma. It's going to be some not good stuff that happens that affects both of you. And so God is really trying to save you both. Let him do that. Let him do that and make the shift. Anybody else, if you want an individual word, put a 1 in the comments and I'll give you the word that God gives me for you. If you want an individual word, put a 1 in the comments and I'll give you the word that God gives me for you. Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. I already saw a friend of ours that found out about her food life transformation and asked her to put together a meal plan for her and wants to pay her. Absolutely. She's going to be doing a lot of stuff. Like I see her doing it. Yeah, I see it. This girl is she's going to be well off. And I see her getting recognition. I see her being recognized nationally for what she does. I see that. Yes, Ali, I miss you too, boo. I know you don't want to put a 1 in the comments, but I'm going to give you this word anyway. You didn't ask for it, but I'm going to give it to you. Ali, listen, what God has in store for you, you haven't even begun to tap into it. When I tell you that what God is getting ready to do in your life is going to blow your mind, it absolutely is. And what you've got to understand is that you just have to shift with him. Like when he tells you to shift. We get caught up in all this stuff that's not the significant stuff. We got to shift with God. I was watching it was a TikTok, I think, that Stormy Wellington did, where she talked about, people aren't loyal anymore. People are loyal to money and what benefits them, and they're loyal to all this stuff, but they're not loyal to the heart. They're not loyal to the soul. And, I was listening to it and I understood what she was saying. But, I think that our society has created misguided loyalty. Like we can be loyal to people, but not loyal to God. My loyalty, my undeniable ultimate loyalty lies with God. Now I'm loyal to people until God says do something different, right? But I move with God. I've got to. And the reason that I move with God, and it doesn't mean that the people are not moving with God. It just may mean my season with the people is up. And so I'm real sensitive to that. I'm sensitive to what God is doing. And so because I'm sensitive to what God is doing, I have redefined loyalty, and where I place my loyalty. I'm more careful about where I place my loyalty because these hoes ain't loyal, but they want you to be loyal. I ain't doing that. It really is amazing to me how people manipulate the concept of loyalty, and use it to control people. And I'm not with that. Listen, this is what I always tell people. When your connection to me is no longer beneficial to you, and it sounds strange, but I'm serious. When it's no longer beneficial to you, it's not growing you. It's not, or there's a shift, or there's just a shift. It may not be anything wrong with our interaction. There's just a shift. Please go do what God has told you to do. That's very important to me. Can it be challenging? Absolutely. But is it necessary? Definitely. So just know, you guys, when God shifts you, it doesn't mean that something is wrong with someone else. It doesn't even mean that something is wrong with you. It's just that he needs you in a different place, a different space. He needs you in a different way. Let him use you how he wants to. So shift when necessary. I needed to hear that. That's deep. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, babe. You're welcome. That's what it's about. At the end of the day, y'all, I promise you, this life we're living, like, it's about us taking the journey and evolving into the us that we were originally created to be, that we lost along the way because of our interactions with people, because of things that we experienced. Like, all of those things affect us. And so now it's time for us to become the next version of us. The next version, they're iterations, right? And so it's time to become the next version of us. It doesn't mean that you're just switching up on people. It means that you're evolving. So let's evolve. You guys, listen, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an absolutely amazing and incredible day. If you want to know how I lost those 5 pounds in 3 days, hit your girl up, and I got you, boo. I got you. Changing lives and moving in the direction that God is pointing. All he got to do is point. He ain't even got to say nothing, just point. Okay, that's where I'm going. I love you guys. Have an amazing day and be absolutely and unequivocally blessed as you take your journey, because I'm telling you, it's time to shift anyway. Shift anyway. Don't miss the shift. Be blessed. Mwah.